Introduction. Nancy Snow. This edited volume grew out of a spirited discussion that brought together some of North America's leading minds on propaganda in a democracy. The 2012 Bro Symposium at Louisiana State University, That's the Way It Is, Media Propaganda and Its Impact on American Democracy, was designed to address a subject that is often alluded to in media and political conversation, but mostly missing as a serious subject of inquiry in academic research and teaching. The study of propaganda is well received overseas. For a variety of reasons, we tend to shirk it here in America, most probably due to our devotion to the idea that democracies are all about facts and the unvarnished truth. At the water's edge, propaganda in general and American propaganda in particular are closely monitored and discussed. Many of my international counterparts, both inside and outside the academy, are quick to ask why the United States doesn't have propaganda studies departments or propaganda research institutes. To these global citizens, the United States is a major purveyor of propaganda worldwide. I'm often inclined to think of Jeremiah 5:21. Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. More commonly expressed as, there is none so blind as he who will not see. We can continue to mistakenly link propaganda to just negative communication or what strictly despotic regimes do, but it will be at our own understanding deficit. For this symposium, we did something rather unprecedented for a group of scholars that is used to the formality of conference presentations. We faced each other around a table in order to elicit more engagement and exchange of ideas. What we discovered is that, while we differ a bit on how we define propaganda uses and abuses, we have much more in common that unites us. We believe that the study of propaganda's role in American society is highly neglected and yet exceedingly needed in building a more discerning, critically conscious citizen. As editor of this volume, and one who has worked at two foreign affairs agencies of the federal government, the U.S. Information Agency and the State Department, I strongly believe there is a national security dimension to the study of propaganda in American democracy. Citizens in a democracy need to be informed about the tools of persuasion and social influence that shape and manipulate their thoughts and actions. Without such tools, democratic nations are vulnerable to the social diseases of ignorance and misunderstanding that are consequences of an undeveloped critical consciousness, and which, in turn, lead to strife, violence, and war. It is no accident that our propaganda symposium occurred during a presidential campaign season. We the people don't necessarily point to a presidential contest as our best exemplar of George Washington's apocryphal outburst about lies and cherry trees. Rather, we live in a political age when fact-checkers are often dismissed as driven by personal or political bias. The Pew Research Center for the People and the Press, which has been tracking press reputation and credibility since 1985, reported in 2011 that 66% of Americans consider news stories to be often inaccurate, while 77% of Americans believe that mainstream news organizations tend to favor one political side over another. The press is deemed elitist and out of touch. 88% of Americans agree with the statement that powerful people and organizations often influence news organizations.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.